Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I am using the Homunculous Mace, which you can get in one of two ways. You could have either pre-ordered the game and got it in a DLC type bundle package with that, or the more common way now that the game is about a year old, is by purchasing this weapon from Chancellor Welliger, the spooky ghost man of Drangleic Castle. Now, this weapon, in my opinion, is one of the better ones that he sells and one of the better ones that came in that DLC package, so let's get started with it. The Homunculous Mace requires 14 strength and 9 dexterity in order to wield. It has a B scaling in strength and an E in dexterity. The physical base damage of the weapon is 290, and for me the attack rating is 425 with Urim of Blades. The counter strength of the weapon is 120, the poise damage is 25 per hit, and the weight is 6 units. Now, I would have to say that the biggest pro of this weapon would actually be how high its base damage is. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because it has very low stat requirements, and 290 base damage, that's not something to laugh at. So, what I'm really getting at here is, when a weapon has that high of a base damage, it's typically a great weapon, an ultra weapon. So ultra great swords, great axes, great hammers, not a plain old regular hammer. So that makes this weapon a tad bit unique and means a few things. First off, it is very, very viable for the majority of builds in this game. You can even use this thing on a dexterity build and have a fairly decent damage output. It's nice for adding some variety to things, and it definitely does its job well. So that's why I'm saying that the biggest pro is that base damage. Other than that, I would have to say that the other pros would include the moveset. The hammer moveset is definitely a good one. It has a good bit of combo ability. You can get some nice 3-hit combos with it, and it's always good to throw in jumping attacks and all that to, increase your combos even farther. So there's that. Other than that, there's really not anything terribly unique about it. So that's really all I've got for the pros. Now for the cons, I would have to say that the biggest con for this weapon would be how late in the game you can actually get it if you did not pre-order the game. Because, of course, if you pre-ordered the game, you were given this right at the start, and every time you start a new build, you're given this weapon right at the start. And that is just incredibly useful. However, if you did not pre-order the game, you have to wait until you get to Drangleic Castle to get this thing. And by then, you'll have another weapon that's already upgraded, and will most likely be better for you by that point. So you're going to see this thing and be like, I don't need another mace, and you'll pass it by. So there's that. Now, another con, if you are going for your two-handed R2s, or rather your one-handed R2s, excuse me. If you're doing your one-handed R2s, your first one, it'll be fine, it'll stun the person, but when you go for your second two-handed when you go for your second one-handed R2, they'll be able to roll away, or even worse, they'll be able to parry it. Now, you don't have a guaranteed two-hit combo with the one-handed R2 unless you wear the stone ring, because that will increase their stun duration, and that will make it so you can do more combos. So, something to keep in mind. But that's all I've got to say about this thing. Hope you enjoyed and found it helpful, and I will see you all next time.